You're not going anywhere. You just have to.
Okay, now this is our Zoom Dream Group on November 7th, 2021. Arnold Lippin is leading the group from Brooklyn, and Joanna Tai, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joanna Tai is in Chiayi in Taiwan.
Yeah. I work in Yunlin, and my hometown is in Chiayi.
Chiayi.
Yeah.
And she's here, and it's her dream. And this has been quite an incredible journey. And Arnie suggested right at the beginning that we record the session. And I was afraid to do that because for this and that. And now I realize I would really like to record it and see what people, this is the orchestration, the wrapping it up. And Zing is offering the first orchestration. And I have a sense that something momentous is going to be said. So I'd like to record it. And go forward, Zing, and everybody just.
And Bill, I think we each got a little notice here saying we're being recorded and we have to say we got it and we're in or we're leaving. So I guess everybody should click the appropriate little box there.
Oh,
Got it.
You got a notice?
I just clicked got it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Me too.
Got it or leave.
Yeah,
Everybody, please get it and don't leave.
maybe everybody has it because you're recording it, you don't see it.
We know all of you. This is a good group.
I get it.
Okay, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Take it away, Zing.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for Joanna sharing her dream with us. And this dream, I think from the beginning, Joanna already mentioned to us that her way to treat dreams is like.
Say
Joanna?
you, not her. You, okay, Zing? Go ahead.
Yeah.
He's talking to her because that'll affect her and she can speak back. Go ahead.
Yes. So when you mentioned that through whole your this process, we can feel that your love to dream and how you treat dream. You treat the dream with so many freedom that you don't want to control it at all. Just like you say, dream is so mysterious and it's spontaneous, and we should use our instinction to work or to deal with our own dream. And in your dream, I think when the first paragraph it talked about Japan, because Japan it's a play. I mean, it's kind of a metaphor that everything should be in order, and it should be followed by rules. And that for you, it could be like a metaphor for control your dream. It will suppress your feelings. And then when we go to the next paragraph, when you mention about it's men and women's bathing area, I think like you say, men, like woman is more in like more soft and open to like for spiritual things, and then like just for the stereotype, it's more in control. So I think it's again to it's really match your essence toward dream. Is dream should be free. And then in the last paragraph, you mentioned that you want to stay in the second floor because you think it's easy to access. I think it's the dream toward like dream. It just perfectly describe how dream is to you. Is you always get access with your dream, and when you say dream is our when we're born with the ability to work with our dream. Is one of our powerful ability. And just like you mentioned in this, you are in the second floor, so you are always close to your dream. And sorry, so then we go back to the second paragraph, like you say, then in the end, you decide to stay in the woman's bath because you feel you can use your intuition to associate with your dream. So I think the whole paragraph is about telling us how much you want to use your own way to associate with the dream. And as you say, you teach dream group in the school, and that you say you can trust you can do well in this job. And indeed, I do really believe that you have this ability, and all your personal character is really fit for this role. And thank you so much.
Zing, that was a beautiful, beautiful orchestration. You always do that, but you outdid yourself. You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
I would go next. I think, Joanna, this dream that you share with us, which I say thanks, because I think everybody in the group is in a way attracted or related to the world of dreaming. And you mentioned the topic of lucid dreams, like to be more in control of everything. And it seems in the dream, you want to tell yourself, and I would say also to tell us, if you allow me to say that dreams are also a way of being connected to ground, even though they could be crazy, even though we can be naked. But dreams are a way of being connected to our life, so dreaming not necessarily means that we are disconnected. On the other hand, we are more connected. In the dream, we have like 3 layers. Your mom in the 6th or 7th floor, the students who are about to graduate, and you in the second floor, I'm sorry. So it seems that your dream is telling you, and it's telling also us, that that we could be even naked in dreams, we still are connected to our humanity. I mean, maybe that's me saying that maybe if we go too high in the upper floors, we are disconnected to our human nature. So sometimes I think like being practical, it's so essential. And in a way, you are telling us that lucid dreams could be important for researchers, but it seems that in the dream you prefer to remain connected to what really comes out, and still having control, still being connected to our human spirit.
Thank you, Mar.
Can be the next.
Go ahead, Deshaun.
Okay. Thank you, Joanna, for sharing the dream, especially connected to what you had to share, because you reminds me that when I the first time I be the teacher of the dream group leader, I was very nervous, and I got asked about a lot of questions about dreams, and I feel so insecure like in front of those students. But I remember that Bill told us that there are many areas about dreams, but we're only in this Ullman dream group process. So that's what I always told them. And I think this dream is telling you that facing so many information and got so many, like in these studies, and so many people has different aspect to dreams. So, so in the second area, when you go through, this man were like more left brain or more controlling, controlling material, maybe it will make you feel the same insecure feeling, like exposed to this people they seems to are more smart or they are aggressive, they know more. But the real you go to the more intuitive, more soft, more nurturing part. I think the dream is showing you again your real power is over there, and that's where you feel you belong. It's also the Ullman Dream Group, what Ullman Dream Group is. And I feel that just like you have told us that you have your power to refresh yourself, like the dream is your power, or whenever you feel you need energy, you will come, is the place you will come to. And I think it's very right that every one of us can use the dream to gain our power back. So thank you for sharing your dream again. It made me to link back to like the passion of the Ullman Dream Group. And yeah, although you feel it's like second floor is not a big bed, it's very luxurious, not very high thing, but it's very grounded, and it's like just you said, it's like we're born to have it, and it's like a natural gift that we're grounded. We feel we are more grounded, we're rooted by sharing our dreams. So thank you.
Thank you, Dasan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dashan did a really good job. And she also brought home how much this dream is also about the dream group. Dashan, you did a really good job. I remember those days those early days when we taught them. Anyway, go ahead.
I think I will.
Go ahead, Loba.
Yeah, Joanna, thank you for sharing. This very special dream. I think it's telling you something about your affinity to dreams and your relationship to dreams. Something like it's like a butterfly being attracted to a nectar, you know. And so a lot of things that you mentioned, and it's very significant, and it really resonates with my own understanding and about dreams and all this. And so in the, like, as in the first paragraph, it's you were in Japan, and you were there, and you try to fit in, but because of your circumstances, all of a sudden makes you become conscious of that maybe you don't belong there, because you're being, as Bill earlier said, that you're being judged, and you feel a sense of insecurity. It's kind of ironic because in a hot spring, usually people just minding their own business and doing their own thing and enjoying themselves. They are very self-conscious, not other people conscious. But here, people staring at you, and so there's a. It seems like there's a controlling part that you don't like here, and this goes down to where you mentioned earlier about the lucid dreams and people trying to control dreams and trying to experiment it, trying to analyze dreams. And I think in Bill's book, he talks about is that instead of you're trying to analyze, and the dreams it's the other way around. Dreams are analyzing us, so it's analyzing you, and so we cannot understand everything with our rational logic, and we just have to accept and experience it, you know. And in the last third paragraph, your mother being on a higher floor and you are on the ground floor, almost on the ground floor, and so your mother is trying to understand. She thinks she has understood the higher power through the Bible, and sort of like a conflict here because you are trying to understand the higher power through dreams and what the connection you get with the higher power through your dreams. And so it's so true. I mean, the dreams trying to tell you just keep on dreaming and keep on being connected with your higher self. Because Bill also mentioned in the glimpses of ego, he says, understanding dreams in this way, the way we are understanding about us through our dreams, doesn't make anyone less of a scientist. Because scientists have this, this idea of trying to analyze and label things and giving names to things like taxonomy or something, plant taxonomy or something. So, and I think it's so true because it really is. I mean, a lot of things are resonating with my own experiences that I've been going through, where people trying to analyze me with their own frame of perception, and I don't fit in. I come back home and I don't fit in because it's different. I don't understand things the way they do anymore, and so when I talk about dreams, so in my culture, I mean, Indian culture, they look at dreams as symbols and good luck and bad luck, superstition, that's about it. You go any deeper than that, oh, don't worry about it. It's nothing, it's just telling you to be careful, drive safe, that's all, and things like that. So a lot of superstition, but so through your dream, I see a bigger picture. I see a universal picture of dreams. Yeah. So thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you, Olga.
Okay, let me try. Joanna, I think this is a very interesting and I think a very important dream for you. And I think for all of us, when we are interested in this dream group, and I think we all have to face this this issue, like there are so many different things people are talking about dreams, and but we have this very particular technique, this Ullman dream group technique, and this is very very special and different from everything else. And I think we don't know why we dream and how or the function of dream, or I don't know, or why we need to dream. So I think the scientists are still trying to figure out what dream is. But for this Ullman dream group, I think we have a very good aspect to understand dream is only inflection of our own. It's all our feelings, it's all our thoughts, and it all referred to ourselves and nothing else. I think it's not, if we dream about the same stuff, and if I dream about my mother, it would be a different things about you dream about your mother or anything. So I think it's really, for me, it's really reasonable, and I actually love it very much. And I also see you have the same thinking, I think, as many of us, and no matter how people are doing different ways to interpret our dreams, like from our ancestors and from the beginning of human beings, people are trying to understand what a dream means. But when you look at that articles and that people are trying to invest some tools to control dreams or to or like to interpret what is the lucid dream or something like that. And you don't like it, and you trust our dream group technique. And I think in your dream, it reflects your situation during this period of you're teaching the dream class, and you face your students, and they may bring up some questions. They bring up some questions about different aspects of dreams. So I think in the beginning of your dream, it's kind of like you don't feel confident. You feel like you're not secured. Maybe I think not just you, but all of us, we are not that ready to answer all of these questions. So like in the beginning of your dream, like you are not wearing a mask and you feel you are like naked. I think it's that feeling you feel like people are judging you by your way, by your you're teaching your class, and so yeah, I feel the same way at the very beginning when I learned Bill, when I learned with Bill about this Ullman dream group, and I feel very touching is when you say the beauty of dream in your word. You said in your thinking, the beauty of the dream is we can't control it. We just let it be. And if we are honest to ourselves, if we are honest and we just let it go, and we can just let our brand to build up anything or to mix anything in our dream, and we keep open to it. And actually, we eventually know every single element or symbol in the dream is really meaningful. And yes, when we look at your dream, and your dream is about the dream group, and I also see like every element there is something. So you you bring your mom to the hot spring, and it end up like you are on the second floor, and she's up there, and you say you love to be here, to be on the second floor, and you think that's more grounded, and it's that it's easier to reach or to access, or it's more like something we can handle. So I think even though somehow you get into the wrong way to the men's area, and eventually you are back, you are very confident. Deep down there in your heart, you know this is the right way. And I want to stay here. You want to stay here on the second floor. And so I think it's a very beautiful dream about this dream group. And we all learn from you and from this dream group that yes, we have a very special tool, and this tool is even more powerful than, I think when you look at that article, like some people are trying to figure out something like to I know what they are thinking, because some people maybe want to use the opportunity when you are dreaming, and it, like to build up our ability, like you say, people are doing calculation in the dream. And this is very utilitarianism. And it's not actually, and that is not the purpose of our dream groups. So I think when you read that articles like that, I used to read some articles or books about dreams, and like Bill said, and Dr. Ullman also feel that way, that I just put them away, and because we believe this is a very special way, and a meaningful way for us, and only we need to open ourselves and be honest to our dream, and the dream is actually talking to us. And you said, I think I remember you said, when people are trying to control everything, you said why people want to control everything, and you said if people are controlling the dream, maybe the dream won't talk to us. Maybe the dream won't talk to us, and I believe in that too. So yeah, so that's how I feel about your dream, and it's a very beautiful and meaningful dream, and thank you for sharing it. And I think it's a very important dream, not only for you, but for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jenner.
I will be the next. Firstly, thanks for Joanna's sharing today. From your sharing, you mentioned about that you did some research before having this dream, and you do not agree with the idea of that scientists want to control people through the dreams. And it reminds me that today's society is full of information. It's easy for people to get information from internet. And we need to recognize what is truth and what is not truth, and refresh our center of mind. Then go back to the relationship between the dream and ourselves. And you also said dreams only reflect the reality and has the power to lead us to know ourselves more deeply. So I think you give the freedom to the dream and remind us the importance of the dream and the truth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
I would like to say something. Thank you, Joanna, for sharing your dream. When you share things about controlling, I feel you are an easygoing person. And maybe that's why you seem to accept everything in the dream. And I think at the same time you accept things, you also have your opinion, and you have your standard and thoughts. But you are also willing to accept things, willing to enjoy the world thing. You are still willing to accept things the world gives you. And I feel this kind of living way is very comfortable. And I appreciate this. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Arnie, do you want to say something? I want to go
Well, this-
last this time. That's what Monte Owen always did. I
Okay,
usually
no,
jump
this-
in too much.
When we first got this dream sort of is emblematic of the dream group, because when we first got the dream, I thought, yikes, what are we going to do with this?
Me too.
And in fact, in a way, if you just took all the beautiful things that Jocelyn said about the dream group and her conflict, her dealing with the conflict of outside influences and being a little uncertain, and certainly to quote, reject scientists, that's a no-no, you're not supposed to do that. And, but dreams are sacred, and that's not an area that the scientists do so well with. And I've been reading a lot of scientific stuff, and I'm amazed at how complicated we are. I'm amazed that I'm sitting here talking to you. Your immunological system is so finely balanced, and there are so many components to it. And and that's why holistic medicine is so interesting, because you have to deal with the whole thing, not this little part over here or that. Because if anything gets imbalanced, you're done, you're finished. So, you're realizing what your dream is telling you, and the things that you said about the value of the dream group, and the fact that the elevated level of the scientist, and in a way your mother, because your mother is very dogmatic, and scientists can tend to be dogmatic, and you're dealing, and that's supposed to be a very high level of achievement. And the reality is, so you're down here dealing with the real reality of the dream and how to try to deal with it, and that's where the real strength is. So this has been, every time we do one of these, the same thing happens. You start over here, and you think you're going over there, but you find out you're actually over there or over here. And then somebody else says something, and you're suddenly in oh, what, really? That's a new place. And that's what's so beautiful about this process. And it unfolds. And what's most important is your participation in it, because you're the one who gave us all this stuff, because it's your dream and it's your life view. And you were able to actually penetrate what your dream was saying to you and share it with the rest of us. And as a slight side issue, it's interesting that this is the second time that the theme of the conflict of the generations, or the conflict of people in this dream group and organized religion. And Deshawn had that conflict in her dream. And you mentioned it with your mom, of trying to, once you've experienced this kind of a process, it's pretty hard to accept the dogmatic, closed concepts that most organized religions have, because this is not a closed concept. This is totally open. You're taking something that's very small and broadening it out and trying to see what it is as an exploration, rather than trying to make it fit into a certain category and try to, a fixed system, because it's not. And that's the beauty of the dream group, and just our exploring this dream, and your contributions to that just validates even more each time how useful and vital this process is. So thank you for your dream.
Thank you, Arnold.
Arnie,
Take it
I
away,
wanna-
Bill.
What? I want to thank you, Arnie, for suggesting that we
Yes,
make this
yeah.
video, because I never would have made this video.
Actually, it wasn't me. It was Jenna who said she was suggesting you
Jenna,
record the videos. Yeah, Jenna's the one who's the, I said, I just said we could think of, if we didn't feel comfortable, we could think about it. But that Jenna was the one who suggested it.
well, thank you, because now I see you're right. I wish I had recorded the whole thing, but I'm glad we caught this. There's so many important things happen here. So before I go on, and each of you did such a wonderful job, every single one of you in your orchestrations. But let me first go, okay, I just want to this is basic. Joanna, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Well, you told us before you, where am I? Before you went to, you told us your last thoughts. And you said, because you're teaching now, you're teaching an Ullman Dream Group in a high school in Taiwan. You're the only person in the whole world doing this. You're the only person in the whole world that would think that this is connected with education in any way. So you're very special. And you told us that one of your students, one of your students told you, she came up to you, I guess after class, and told you that when she was a child, she had a lucid dream ability. She could have lucid dreams. And she asked you, the student asked you about lucid dreams. Now, this is your first semester teaching this course, and you actually had no idea on how to answer her question. And you mentioned the more you get into dreams, the less you know about the dreams. Well, I think that's the standard definition of wisdom. The more we get into something, the more we really study it, the less we know about it. Like Arnie says about the immune system, and it's wisdom. So this is what promulgated the dream. And then on top of that, so you thought, well, I'm teaching this class. I don't want to be just not know, and I should have something I know. And so you went and you read this article posted in some Dream Group forum about a scientist who can use tools to communicate with dreamers while they're having lucid dreams. And you said the word you used was, you feel that's ridiculous. I was really touched by that, to tell you the honest truth, because I feel it's ridiculous too. I mean, and then you say something else that touched me. Why should people want to control everything? Oh, yes. And you said something else. The one after another, this just popped out of you. You said, I feel it's very bad to you feel that if it's very bad to control things like that, and if we could, it would be disastrous to human beings. And that's what you were thinking before you went to sleep. And you said, I'll just quickly go through. Essentially, in everything you've said, you really expressed the mysterious quality of dreams for you, that there's something mysterious and there's something deep and spontaneous and something that comes about by its own, on its own, in its own time, for its own reasons. And that's what you value in dreams and the dream work. I just want to say to you as an aside here, you're an extremely valuable person to this dream group, because everyone in this group is. I think most people here, I'm guessing, would agree with you. I very much agree with you. Now, what happened is, and then as you went through the whole dream, Arnie asked at the end if you want to say what the whole dream tells you, and this and this and this and that. And then at the last thing, the last sentence that manages to crawl out and put itself on the page was this one: I can trust myself when I teach the dream group class at the high school. And so the student came and asked you a question, and you had to tell them, I really don't know. So then the feeling is, am I good enough to teach this class? There's so many things I don't know about dreams. And you started reading about dreams, and then your feeling was, I don't want to know that kind of stuff. I don't believe in that kind of stuff, And then you told us what you do believe in and what you do know about dreams. And you figured out every single piece of this dream. I wish I'd recorded that part of the process, because it beautifully, one by one, you leaped through the dream, figuring out every single metaphor and image in the dream. And you also told us you feel every single image has meaning. There's a big prominent dream researcher in England who published some paper that about 24% of the images in dreams really have meaning. You know, like he knows that. You know, well, what you know is more important and it's more true. You're more grounded than he is. He's up there on the top floor somewhere. And there's two ideas of education. The old idea is these students come in, they're like empty jars, and we have to fill up those jars by putting knowledge in, teaching them, you know, fill it up. Now, the dream group, what you're teaching and what you believe in is a different kind of education. It's saying you take the lid off the jar and you open the jar up, and then what comes up out of the jar educates us. In other words, the student gets educated from inside. They discover who they are and what they know. Lao Tzu said this over 2,000 years ago, maybe 2,500 years ago. He said, inside us, he said, there's a place that already knows. It already knows. Other people are trying to tell us this. Confucius is telling us this. You should do this, you should do that. Lao Tzu says inside we already know. And so that's what Joanna, in a way, is telling us, that to trust the mystery of the knowledge that comes from inside. I feel that this is one of the most profound dream groups we've had, in a sense, because Joanna has come forth and epitomized the essence of spirit, the religion in Montague Ullman's process. And, you know, I'm not a psychologist, but at some point I've read different psychologists, and someone summed it up. They said there are two kinds of psychology. One is a psychology, I think it's Adler or someone like that, I forgot. One is the psychology of control. And the other one is the psychology of love. And that's Freud and Jung and Montague Ullman. That's what we're doing. It's a different psychology. It's a totally different psychology. And you see totally different things. Now, for the second time, I'm reading this book, The Master and His Emissary, The Divided Brain and the Making of the Western World. Next week, I'm going to make a video with Markus Sivalo, who's in Finland. He's the dream person. And he's also taken with this book and how it pertains so much. This book does not even mention dreams, hardly even once, maybe twice. He just doesn't talk about dreams at all. I've emailed him and asked him, and first he gave me nice response, but then he just stopped replying. He does not want to talk about dreams. You know, he has a reputation to protect. Well, we don't have any reputation to protect, so we can tell about what we find. And what we find is that there are two sides of us. One side is about control. That's the left brain. And the other side is very different. The right brain is very different. In a one way, to me, it's like a woman. And women tend to be more connected. They connect with the children. They connect with the community, you know, where the man's trying to make money. It's a different way of being, in a way. You need both. And the same with the brain. You need both ways. We have to function. But Joanna really is giving an argument and a feeling. The pool with the men is, the thing about the left brain is judgmental. The pool with the men are looking at her. Is the body perfect? Is she sexy? Is she beautiful? All these outstanders. Joanna is a treasure. They don't see that. They're looking at her body. The pool with a woman is more like the right brain. You just fit in and you feel at home. And actually, there's a word somewhere. She said in the dream, I felt this area belonged to me. Joanna, I think that sentence in the dream is about the dream group, and it's also about the right brain, and it's also about intuition and the talent for knowing things and for being interested in learning the kinds of things you know spontaneously from inside. I don't know, I feel every way. In every way, I feel this is the most, you've done such a wonderful, an honor to us by bringing in this stream. And I just, I want to see if there are any more points that I missed. There's so many points. Hold on, yes, there seem to be some points. Naked, the hot pool, hot pool. It's a very good metaphor for the dream group, because in the dream group, like Arnie said a few times ago, and we made a video of him saying that too, is in the dream group, people open up and they show who they are. It's like when in dream group, we get naked, not our bodies, but our souls, our spirits. And another point I want to make is that Joanna's room is down, and the dream is down on the second floor. It's down near the closer to more grounded. And the mother's dream with her Christianity, her organized religion is way up on a higher floor. The most progressions, if I want to become a scientist, it's an upward journey. Like Arnie now is working with immunology, and he's done biochemistry in the past and things like that. He knows this is an upward journey. It's really a struggle upward in a way. And so many things are like that, except the spiritual journey. The spiritual journey, whether you look at Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, any of the great religious masters of the spiritual journey is a downwardly journey. Jesus ended up being crucified on the cross, all the way down, you know. Lao Tzu was worked at a gate, I think a gate. He was a gatekeeper or something. You know, he was not the emperor's wise man or anything. And he wrote the wisest book I think that's ever been written. Now they say he's a mythical person, but there was somebody there, maybe a combination of people that represented that trait of being a very humble, decent, grounded person. And that's what Joanna's talking about here. It's a path of descent. It's not organized religion has it wrong. It's about going down. And the Quakers have a song, a beautiful song, a prayer. It says, God, grant us to be simple, grant us to be free, grant us to come down to where we ought to be. In other words, not to be anything big and flashy, just be little old me. And this is the essence of the spiritual master, is his humility. You can spot it right away. Arnie and I had a karate teacher that was not humble. He was arrogant and proud. And a real master is so humble and true. I don't want to say anything more because we're taking up time. Joanna, you did a great job. And the dream group, you people did a great job. Now, Joanna, you have Arnie, you're in your lap now. There's one more stage.
Yeah. Joanna has the last word.
Good, you've done a good job.
Okay.
I
Thank
got that right.
You got everything right, Arnie.
Thank you. Arnie, thank you for your leading. I feel very safe, and your tone is very gentle and not rush me to something. So I can feel free. I can say what I want to say. And thank you for everyone. Your words are full of wisdom. And actually, I dreamed that dream. I always appreciate that dream. In the beginning, I don't know what it means. I just feel when I go to a hot spring house, and then because I know the process, so I can do the appreciation by my own. But in the dream group, I feel I gain more, and each of you get different, provide different aspects and different give me more deeper and further way to see through the dream. And I really appreciate the dream group, and thank you everyone. That's it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Joanna, for sharing your dream
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
now, Bill is going to ask who's coming next week.
Arnie, before I do that, I'm going to stop the recording. I've never done this before, and then I'm going to ask that, okay?
Okay.
I'm stopping the recording. Thank you very much. Joanna, you were great. And Arnie, you were great. I really look forward to you starting that new dream group. Here we go. Bye-bye. Don't go away.